Well, uh, I've just spent the last 2 hours messing around with my journal. Um, Not good, but we'll persevere and figure it out. But we can't use TradesViz right now. It is, well, first of all, it doesn't show me just this week. I deleted all my data, which probably wasn't the best thing to do. Might have been better just to figure out how to enter the trades that were not being represented correctly. Like maybe reach out to support. Could have done that. And then moving forward, I may have to just keep my own journal. That might be what I'll have to do. And maybe with chat, maybe this will force me to use ChatGTP or some other AI to help me make one of my own. Just disappointing all around. But do need to figure out how to manage current trades. Although it looks like the market will open down. Looking at, I guess we can just go ahead and look at it. Let's turn. So, make sure, wait, let me go back to here. Make sure everything's good to go here. And then we need, what, stock analysis. This still works. And probably what happened was maybe user error on my part. I should have been like, before you delete anything, maybe contact support. Like, don't just delete everything that you've accumulated over the past year and a half. I don't know. We'll just move forward. Anyway, that's what. So I do have my trades. I downloaded them. Download the PD, do it yourself. So we'll start there. Bigger. And I might be able to do it myself. I think that's a possibility. So, or not necessarily do it myself, but just build up my own journal. I think with our AI tools we have available to us now, I might be able to do that. What I know it's not going to do is, but it does keep everything as like a separate transaction. So like I think I'll get I can at least do a week-to-week accounting. Because what seems to, like, the executions weren't being done right in TradesViz. Maybe that was a setting. But I don't know. My heart's kind of broken on that one. Because now it's harder to keep track of what I'm doing. And it was already hard. It was already hard to keep track of it anyway, because every page is different. So like you open the first page of Charles Schwab, that's one number. You open up TradesViz, another number. You open up TD on the web, then one number. You open up the other app, it's another number. All the numbers are different. And you can't just see like, what did I do this week? You gotta dig for that. Like, it's not super straightforward, which, whatever. So not like that either. And this, wrap this. And I can see the benefit, like if it can, you know, match and put things together, but I think that's maybe what's happening is it, and I know the P&L that it's showing was like the total, which isn't super helpful for my particular use case because I want to just see things kind of week to week still. So yeah, I'm kind of like at square one with like the journaling. I don't know. And I don't want to pay. So the next 6 months, I have to just do my own thing. And then maybe come the end of the year, I can, if I can find a journal that does what I need, maybe like Tradezilla, or I had TraderSync for a while. Maybe go back to those. Because I think TraderSync, even when I went to TradesViz to begin with, I kind of questioned it from the beginning. The only reason I moved to it is because I wanted to do futures trading and didn't want to enter those manually. But it doesn't, I never had a problem with TraderSync with like combining options trades. Like if it was a, an Iron Condor or something like that, more complex options trades, it could handle that. So we might give it a try again, see if it makes those same mistakes, but this is kind of a bummer. I'd have to say that. A little bit of a bummer on my trading journal. But we could take a look at the trades for this week. And we could still look at the charts for those. So on Friday, I did TQQ short, made a little bit of money there. Maybe we'll go ahead. So we'll look at the TQQ chart. I closed what looks like put. Oh yeah, my put. That's right. So and see, this isn't right either because so I bought to close it, but it doesn't show you how much credit I received for it. Let me put a note here. So this is not showing, and that's the benefit I think of what TradesViz is doing, is that it is putting these trades together. It's probably, I probably have to go and like sit down with someone and actually, because it was working fine. Like before, I was okay with the way that it was working. But for some reason, and it's been like maybe, like, it wasn't like last week, but it was like the week before was kind of wonky. Maybe it's just when like things get added to the spreadsheet that it can fix itself, but like I just want this week to week information. I just sort of want this rolling, like, what did I do this week? What did I get? La-di-da. Like that's what I want to see. So this isn't showing the other side of it. So I sold this for, so I actually made $50 on here. I didn't lose $50 on this one. Because I bought this back. So it's not showing the original transaction. And it's not actually a minus amount. And And like these three are all together, so really you'd want to lump this together and just give it one thing. So like this would actually be this plus this. And what was it? You have to plus everything on the. That's what I think. That's what I learned, is that everything gets added. That's 57. This is actually maybe 50 bucks. I got 50 bucks from this trade. This I did lose that. So this was. What was this one? Sell to close. And even this is fucked. So buy to open. Yeah, that would make sense. Sell to open. Okay, then you got the credit here. Okay. So this was like an iron. This was like one of the... sell to open. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is the one I did in the same week. So this was... Yeah, this was this one. This is all accounted for here. Never mind. At least with this one, it's all accounted for of what I did. Yeah. So I was experimenting with selling puts on a weekly basis. So I sold that put there. I said I would sell a put in Walmart, so I did that. That I have not taken out yet. That'd be interesting to see how I deal with that. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to deal with that because the market's probably going to go down. So that might just be assigned. This one I was able to get off for like a profit. I think it's all in here. I have the 100 here. We have the 50 here. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have blown up my... Oh, I should have just contacted him. Oh, okay. Cool. I deleted it. Man, I don't know, I just lost all my stuff. What do you mean? Oh, wow. Only nighttime Speedbird now? Oh shit, chat. I can't even look at... Anyway, just really upset. Okay, we gotta just power through, and I don't know if any of this matters. I don't think any of this matters. I think the only thing that matters is like day to day and how the market opens. Like that's kind of where we're at now. That's I think the ultimate level of chaos has been reached. We're now in a war, so that's cool. I mean, we were in a war before, but we weren't like directly involved. Like, we literally went over there and dropped some bombs on a country. Okay. So we'll see how. Oh, the only thing that might be bullish is crude. So I wonder what that's gonna open up at. That'll be maybe that should be my stream title. What are your bets on like where oil's gonna open up? Anyone got any ideas in the chat? Like, I'm gonna say like $90 a barrel. I'm gonna say up like $20. Crazy volatility spike on crude. It'll probably come down from there, but I don't know. I feel like this bombing has opened up like they think they know where it's gonna go, but I don't know if you know where it's gonna go. I don't know if you actually know that information. Like, you could, at this point, we're just dealing in probabilities of like what would happen versus like what won't happen. So what will probably happen is, either way, until this is resolved, or there's some kind of, this changes everything in some ways. I think it kind of changes the trajectory of the next few years. This could be all we talk about for the next 3 years. Like, and then like, what has really changed though? Like, so we've been in this, our business is going to get better. Is inflation going to get better? Is employment going to get better? Are people going to learn the skills that they know? None of that's going to happen. That could like fundamentally change the way things work now. Like, but I guess we need a place to experiment, on our new AI Palantir military tools. So let's go. I don't know what to think about all that, and like nuclear weapons and this and that and the other thing. Like, and then like the fact that I only know is that, we're the only country in the world that's ever used them. I mean, I don't know. I want a loss. But maybe what will happen is like the Chinese will have to buy oil not from Iran, but they'll have to buy it from, so their supply will be taken off the market, and then it'll be like us in Saudi Arabia, and so prices will go up. Where do all the people go? Like, where do the Iranian people go? Like, we know where their leaders end up, but where do the people go? Regular people. I don't know. Kind of sad. Guess I should have bought that oils feature. I was too stuck in equities. Plus it was like an options roll time. It was a weird time. Like, I don't really like getting involved like in roll times. Like, I don't like that. So I wasn't gonna trade it anyway. But we'll see what it opens at. Let's just do let's do the trades. I mean, man, this was kind of unexpected. This was sort of an unexpected roadblock in my progress. Like, it's like a boulder, you're driving down the road and then you don't get hit by the, no. Hey, we watched Final Destination. This is like this is where it manifested. This is where it manifested right here. Yeah, it got me. God damn it, it got me, man. It fucking got me right. It never happens where you expect it, okay? It doesn't. You never know. You summon spirits, you know, had weird shit happen after we watched Leftovers, and I knew we tried to like burn the sage, do all the things after Final Destination movie last night, but I think it got me. I think it's still, we got to burn more. We need to burn more to burn it away. But yeah, these are the trades. Let me just put this in my notebook, and we're gonna find maybe we're gonna make it a positive. We're gonna make it a positive. We're not gonna make it a negative. We might just figure out how to make my own journal using AI. How about that? That's now we have a new goal now. We have a brand new goal of we are going to create our own journal and try to figure that out. I think I'm up slightly the past 2 weeks. I mean, really, I would just call it break even. Monday will be a bit of a bloodbath. We shall see how that goes. Because again, it just invites, I think, ultimately, you got to think of it too in terms of like, you know, the market likes certainty. The market does not have that right now. So it's really hard to price anything. It's really hard to plan. It's really hard to forecast. So, you know, choppy. I think, you know, I was saying choppy to up. I don't think there's any future up over those highs anymore. I just don't think there's any future up there. At least I have some call spreads on. So I think those will benefit tomorrow. It will not make my account even, but it will help minimize, and then I could just roll something down. Because I see a lot more downside with this. We're in a bear market. Like, if you don't believe it's a weird bear market in that we're not down like every day, like in 2022 or 2020. Was it 2022? Yeah, I think it was 2022 or 2023, one of those years, where we were down like every day and like dun, just stepwise down. You also have to remember in bear markets, like you get short squeezes that just. So you get short squeezes, and then you get tremendous down days. Like tomorrow's, like in the next hour and a half, we're gonna see. It ain't gonna be good. Like it's gonna be really bad. Yeah, I don't know that there'll be a buy the dip either. I don't think you get a buy the dip until you get to maybe the lows that we had after Liberation Day, and then it might only be a small blip. And then catastrophe. I don't know. I don't think this is good. I guess that's what yeah, anyway. So we'll write here that for the journal though, we had a journal implosion. Need to find a new way to or reach out to them and be like, what's the best way to like bring in this data? And if I run into these issues again, how do I fix them? And I guess I'd have to put up with the fact that the P&L that I see is not just for that week, which was kind of annoying. Like I like the running idea, like if I want to look at month and year, but but it wasn't even bringing in some trades correctly. Like it was an old trade that maybe I understand that it could show up on a later statement. Maybe that's when it clears or that's when it shows up on the spreadsheet. But I've looked at my spreadsheets before and I look at the trades that are there and I don't see them. And I would just let it was like one trade. I didn't, I was like, okay, well, maybe on the next time I upload my spreadsheet, it'll be better. And this time I do have like the sync, so maybe that's a little bit better, but it seemed like it was messing up a different transaction this time. So I don't know. Like it. Anyway, we can't dwell on the problem. We just have to move forward. We've already wasted. I can't get those. There's been times like I just want those couple hours back. This was like one of those times. Like, can we just rewind? And I would do something different during those 2 hours. Maybe I should have exercised or did laundry or something, because that was a tremendous waste of time. to track trade. I mean, luckily I could get this spreadsheet, so that's good. So maybe, you know, it's just a push to move in another direction and a push to use our new tools. And while we still have access to AI, maybe be in the powerful tools within AI, be able to make my own journal. Yeah, I don't know. My heart's kind of just broken. No, I could see the problem here too is that, like, I'll put on, like, I sold that Walmart put. Okay, well, when I buy that back, it's going to be in a different week. Or when it gets assigned, it'll be in a different week. And so, how is, like, those two things need to be matched up. So you would see a buy to close. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll probably just have to contact them and be like, hey, this is what happened. I don't want it to happen again. Here's what I'm doing now. If I spot something like this, what do I do to make sure my journal is correct and that the trades are correct? And I guess in knowing that I don't like that P&L doesn't just show the week, though. I still don't like that. Just needs to show the trades I made that week. Also, I didn't make any triple Q trades that week. There's just things that expire on that day. I didn't make any. It's just TQQQ. I didn't do any triple Q. Or whatever. So I got to get out of that. Let's move on to. So up a little bit. Actually, I did have the trade I made on Friday. It wasn't terrible. Wasn't a terrible trade. I could have held it longer. Let's take a picture of that. It's a really good entry. I followed my rules. Take a picture and then put it here. So here's the trade here. So I sold the trade, and then like TradeViz wasn't doing this right either, so that's whatever on that. So I sold it here, bought it back here and here. You know, could have waited. I definitely could have waited, but hey, I followed my rules. That's all that matters right now. But yeah, so let's go ahead and. So this was a good trade. And then I need my little check marks here, like, so bring in my trade review check marks. So the entry followed rules. Exit, so you can work on the exit. I put it at specific targets. I think I had the second, like the first target is, I think I got a little jumpy on the first target. The second target was like previous session or overnight low. So those were good targets, but gotta work on that. We'll work on our exits. Man, I'm already totally flustered. But yeah, I guess my project tonight will be to figure out my notebook situation. Wow. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the index levels. So we were down on the week. And probably will be down when the market opens. How is Bitcoin doing right now? it's coming back. I saw it at 100. It was like 100 and something, and then it went down. Are currencies trading yet? Maybe those trade in like 3 minutes or something. So we'll see how those open. If they're all down, then we're gonna know the market will be down on the open. I think this will be pretty bad. I think this is, I have negative positions. I don't have enough for what this is going to be, but I had a weird premonition about the market going down, so not completely unexpected, but I don't think that I'm completely positioned either. It was kind of a premonition. So the day flights are coming back in July? I don't know, maybe less people are traveling because, like, you start throwing bombs in the air, people get really paranoid. Like, people cancel trips because of stuff like this. Well, and the thing is, too, is like, if you're coming to America, you're usually going to places that are targets if there are terrorist attacks. Like, you're going to New York, you're going to Las Vegas, you're going to LA. All those are places for things to happen. So, like, that just freaks people out. Let's go ahead and look at the sectors. But at the same time, you can't get too wild and crazy because you can't live in fear, and this too shall pass. I don't know what the result of it is. I mean, that's always the question, I think, is like, what are we gonna do now? You know, what do we do now? I see the sectors. Sector. Save that? Okay. Well, it might actually be coming in because of all the military activity out there. So what do we have here for the week? Oil. Metals, money, oil, good, and that's it. Everything else is down. Everything else is down. E17 time. Hey, at least you're having a good day. No, but I told you, like, the thing that we had to, at least it was just this. This is just electronic. It's somewhat superficial. It's not like data, like super important data was lost. It's just rearranged now. Nothing was truly lost, Chad. I guess we could just explore new horizons. It's a new horizons time, everybody. It's a new horizons time. No, it always happens to me though. Like, think about like OneNote. Where else have I lost? Oh my god. There's been, well, was it mostly Microsoft that I lost things with? Yep. Okay, okay. It was like OneNote, and then there was like one other thing where I lost. I remember that one. That's something messed up with their cloud version. Yeah, whatever. I think that's what that was. So you forget these. Just the other thing too is you tend to forget these times, and then it happens again. Then you remember, but there's a long gap between when they happen. But anyway, we'll just keep these websites still work, so we're just gonna go with this. Let's look at our gainers for the week. We could look by volume. Okay. We have here. Alright. So HCTI, NVIDIA, Denson Mining Corp. Oh. Interesting. I'll have to look at the charts of these. Let me get both. Let me get the losers and the winners, and then I might look at some charts. This is by volume, and then we want to do my market cap. Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple. Although you might see some of these Mag 7 names. God, these are stupid little monikers. Never mind. Fang, Mag 7, da da da, like whatever. You might see those actually perform on Monday because they're safe havens as well. Like, so don't be surprised if you see that. And then we want the week losers by market cap. Actually, let's look at it by volume. Not that you're gonna trade any of these because these are open. Oh man, Palantir. Oh man, buy the dip. What's that gonna open up at? What are your bets on that, chat? But last time when Israel attacked, it went down. So it rose up into the fights, went on a crazy run. The fight happened and it dropped. So maybe it drops again? I don't know. Amazon. Amazon was a loser by volume. This is actually...
Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon.
Amazon?
No, Amazon's kind of a weird animal because it's like... AWS should really be its own business, but I don't think AWS lives...
Candle, fucking go then! Fucked it up.
Oh, okay. That's right. That is true.
Oh, no, they're coming here.
Oh my god, just go, go, go. Get some kind of content. Well, if you don't get that content, what would you get? Okay. Okay. Hey, content is content. You get what you need. Then financials took a hit because of the stablecoin regulations. But then Circle. Alright. Take funny snaps. No, take funny snaps. Take funny snaps. Alright, here we go, chat. I actually just put a Notion to crop out, and then I lose my whole notebook. So that'll be the next thing. And then I'll just go back to Google Docs again. I went through that this week too. I'm like trying to find different things to share from my other job. And this, that, and the other thing. Like there's some things that aggregate stuff better. But ultimately, like for sharing purposes, you kind of have to stick to Google Docs because it's the only thing that's universally shareable with inside the organization. So yeah. 1 second, chat. It should be white. White text. There we go. And oddly enough, this went down even though GLP-1s were found to be effective for, let me turn it back on, found to be effective for heart disease, which I thought was interesting. So that was kind of an interesting piece of information from the week. I thought that was kind of a cool story. Like, they're finding, one I think too is, you just lose weight. Some of those, I don't know if it helped with any other markers. So besides being overweight, does it help, like, does it help with some other pathway? So like, I guess you would kind of have to give it to someone that is not overweight but has heart disease and see. I don't know who those people are. But it said that it helped with people with like heart disease. Going forward, they take the drug, a few years later, they don't have those markers anymore for heart disease. And this is continuously on here. People are getting rid of their Berkshire Hathaway. That's not great for the market either. Like, they have to kind of redefine how that's going to work. Wow. So it's a bit of a transformation, I think. I think there's a bit of a rotation. I think the future are, the things that I can kind of see right now are data centers. I think more and more data, better, better, better. More data, the better data. I think that you might have more companies that start to come up. Like, I think it'll be harder and harder for a company like Nvidia to exist. It may only exist in America because everybody's going to want their own data, their own AI, their own chips. They don't want to rely on America for their knowledge and AI within their country. Like, owning your AI means you need to own everything about it. You need to own it from the top to the bottom. And I don't know how feasible that is. I think it's a little lofty for Nvidia to think that they can have top to bottom, because I think eventually countries are going to get sick, and I don't know. It's hard to make these things, so it's not like there's a lot of people, a lot of companies that can make stuff, but I just feel like if they can make their own, they're going to make their own. They're not going to rely on the United States. That's all I can think about that. But I think either way, countries are going to want more data. We're going to want more data centers. We're going to need them for lots of different purposes, from military to just regular doing your job at work. People are going to be using AI. That's what I need. Maybe I need to aggregate the top headlines around AI. So maybe let's just go take a look for right now. Like, just go look for the week of 6/16. I would like a list of the most important headlines related to AI. Sovereign AI, yeah. So the big headlines, I can't really, I guess I could show you on this one. So OpenAI wins $200 million US defense contract. Amazon CEO warns of AI-driven layoffs. That AI will reshape Amazon's white-collar workforce, leading to job reductions. He encouraged employees to adapt by embracing AI. Meanwhile, major CEOs from OpenAI, Anthropic, Salesforce, Duolingo echoed this sentiment: embrace AI or risk obsolescence. Yikes. It's a candid recognition from a corporate giant that AI is permanently altering the job landscape across industries, and that's true. So I need to learn how to put it all together. Mainly, I think for me right now is like AI has to make me faster. It has to make me faster. It has to kind of fill in the gaps of exactness and attention to detail. Like it has to replace that for me. And I think right now, like I just need to move faster with it. I have to come up with strategies each week that are going to make me use it faster. Like make my work faster. I think that's ultimately what it has to do for me. Yeah. Well, it can... No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, let me get the earnings. And then maybe I'll run my little scan too, just for fun, so I can feel a little bit better. And somewhat interesting earnings this week. We have FedEx, which is always interesting to hear from them, and then Nike. Those will be kind of interesting. Both have been struggling, both with this new situation we have. I don't know what their forecasts are going to be. I don't know if anyone can. Like, this kind of cements that you cannot forecast. Like, you just cannot forecast. And so let's make a news goal. We need to be able to aggregate headlines and create a summary of headlines for the week. And maybe it would have to be on a particular topic because headlines are going to come out, but everything's going to get buried by this war and Trump. So you kind of have to dig a little bit deeper, I think. What I'm hearing over and over again as far as like interesting takeaways for, let me put this up here since you can't see what I'm doing. Interesting takeaways from podcasts is like AI skills are still at the forefront. And we are in an evolve or die moment. So I think it's important to figure out like how the people around you use AI, what they're doing, how they're doing it, what you're doing to do things faster. I think if your company like is good, like they're going to show you, or people are going to start to show you how to use it to be better at what you do. And that could benefit you at that job or another job, but then like I think it'll be harder and harder to find jobs, because eventually AI will probably do what you do. Like that's like even this trading stuff. Like, I mean, we don't really have Agentic in right now in the sense I can make like a robo thing, but I don't really have the account that keys into. I don't know how to use Thinkorswim to automate my trades. I don't know how to integrate with the API. I don't know how to do any of that, but I guess I could learn how to do that because that's the future that we're going toward. Like, I shouldn't be doing anything. I should find an AI, write a code, see if it'll trade for me. I mean, that's kind of what I have to do. So, yeah. Drinking some water, chat. All right, new trade ideas. Well, we're probably going to be able to roll all of our call spreads in the morning. So maybe we should look at where we might want to reset those up. It's going to be pretty volatile. I don't think, like, we know when things gap down, they want to fill those gaps again. Futures open in an hour, so I think I might do, let's do trade management right now, and then I'll run a scan, and yeah, let's just do that right now. So Bitcoin's down. Is it still down? What are the new headlines? Any new headlines? Let's see. Not really. I bet crude will be up. No, and in some ways, so this is saying that you retain more. You have to be able to search for it. Like, you have to have a running. What I've found is you need, it's like, it says that you're not using your brain, but you have to use your brain in different ways. So you have to be able to organize everything. So this is what I've found. I do have to type out notes during a meeting if I want to remember what happened in that meeting, but then I also augment that with the transcript. So I put the two together. So you're actually taking in more information, and then it needs to be searchable. So your information has to be easy to find. It has to be like anybody could read it. And you have to know what you're searching for. So being able to tag or put things in your notes that'll help you find things better is something you should look at too. So it's not just this. It's a whole, it's like augmenting a skill set. It's changing a skill set. It's not just about taking the notes anymore. It's about how do you store them? How do you organize them? And can you search them? Can you get to, like, you don't have to remember it per se, but you need to be able to remember the keywords to get to that information. Also, I think what becomes more important too is with the amount of information we all have to take in, how do we visualize it? How do we visualize what's going on making connections between our notes, making connections between the things that we're working on. You know, that's where I think that's where you get an edge, so to speak, is like you can find a way to find connections. You're not just taking the notes for that one day at that one time. You are making sure that they're searchable. They're also connected to other ideas. That's all I'm going to say. Well, then it's like too, like if they're full of emptiness, then you have to like, that's what you need to teach then. So if this is a tool that we're going to use, okay, you get your first your draft from ChatGTP, that gets you started. Maybe that first draft would have taken you a week to write. Now it takes you seconds to write. But that final thing that you submit, maybe you can go through. So let's say in the past, there's this paper you got to write. And let's say the assignment's broken up into multiple pieces. So you have to submit your first draft by this date, you have to submit your second draft by this date, and then you submit your final draft. So in theory, you'd probably do those 3 drafts. You'd do those 3 things only. With ChatGTP now, the second the assignment is assigned, you could generate a draft. As you get more and more information, as you start to learn more things, you can add to that draft. You make another one. You have a pump out 5 more. So now you have maybe 6 or 7 drafts that you've gone through before you submit even the first draft. So maybe that first week, you're just working on iterating that first draft. Then you submit. So you could probably have 100 drafts before you even get to submitting your first submission. And then you submit your first submission, you get some feedback from the professor, you integrate that into your essay, you iterate, and then the second draft is due. So you could have gone through 200 drafts instead of just 3. So I kind of see the other side of this, that like, don't just let it write for you. So if they seem hollow, okay, well, you're probably not going to stop people from using the technology. It's not what's going to happen. It's just like a calculator. It's not going to happen. You're not going to stop people from using a calculator. But you need to teach them, okay, once you get the output, what do you do with it? Is it what you want? Is it what we need? Probably not. How do we fix that? Where do we get feedback from? How do we make it better? How do we get deeper facts? How do we incorporate the deep research? Because what I'm finding is like, yeah, that first answer isn't right, but I can get the first answer in seconds, right? I can get it in seconds. And then something might still take me an hour to write, but in that hour, I can find articles, I can go down a rabbit hole and come out of the rabbit hole much faster. So instead of it taking me a week, maybe it only takes me 2 days. So the thing that I'm seeing is things happen a little bit faster. You can also get deeper. So the depth of your work can be better. Now you can pump things out better. You give it enough constraints and you give it enough of what you want it to do. The comments. Comments are always the fun part. You were insightful. I don't know, the comments are always fun. No, this is like a recession, like... No space for Bezos. Oh no! Man, I missed all these people when I was there. Anyway, okay. Nothing too crazy yet. We'll just kind of have to watch for 30 minutes when the market opens. But what can we do here? So, alright, looking at the trades. I have an iBit trade. I guess I could just put this on. I think you can't see shit, so it's like, whatever. I have an iBit trade, the covered call. I don't know. That's probably nothing's gonna happen there. Walmart, I have a covered call and a put. I may be able to roll my covered call. We'll see. I don't want to roll it down. I was able to roll it up, and I got some credit, so I might just leave it alone. I wouldn't necessarily mind being assigned another set of shares, but I don't think there's anything to do with that position. I have two. These are 26 days, so definitely if these are ready to roll, we're going to roll them. We're either going to close or roll because we're at 26 days. Maybe reassess where the market opens. I have an Apple call spread 54 days out. We'll see. Like, again, I think it might be somewhat counterintuitive. These stocks might actually do okay, because they are sort of safe haven stocks. Everyone is always going to buy an iPhone, at least for the foreseeable future. I know you can't see this, but I don't know what account details you'll end up seeing, so I'm just going to keep it on this screen and just talk about it. My Google trade, I am positive on Google, but I think this won't do well. This kind of crapped out on. It's sad because there's two of them here. I may have to take an L on this. I may think about... if I could roll something for a credit, let's take a look at that. Like, we might take the L, but if we can receive the credit again, maybe we'll try the trade again. Maybe we'll do like 3 rolls and see if we could get some credit. Maybe it'll come back. I don't know, but I picked the wrong healthcare stock to use. That's just a bag. I don't know what it's going to do. So that one, if it goes down, if I can roll it, there's still 89 days, which is so stupid. Maybe I could see what I could roll for a credit. I think that's what the plan is for these, is see what I could roll for a credit. And we are at like the 6-month mark. you know, for the year. I need to get rid of my bags. Any bags I have, they need to be, you were here long enough. You did not perform. We need to figure out how to get out of it and move into something different. I don't mind the covered call strategy. I think I just need a different, either just sell puts or like pick a different route. Like that's what I think with these two. If I could sell anything for a credit, I will. I have a QQQ trade, 26 days. So if this is ready to go on the open, I will just close that trade and then figure out where to maybe re-enter. We'll see how the market does on the open. I don't think it'll be great. Let's go ahead. Maybe I'll pull up the little scanner thing. It's my 13. You know, and I think I'm not super keen on this. I think this would be better to maybe run tomorrow. Yeah, I think this would be better to run tomorrow than it would be today. Let's see. That NASDAQ. Here we go. Where's this? Where does this live? It's in the downloads. Oh, it is in the downloads. Okay, let's put this on the desktop and rename it. But then every once in a while we have to go get a new list because like whatever. And plus this list has something in it that different symbols in it. Like all these ones with like, I think these don't show up. Okay, so let's rename it though. It needs to be, what does the name need to be? I think it's supposed to be called NASDAQ Composite. I just need to find the name. Name it. Alright, it's running right now. Alright, so we'll see what it pops up with. But yeah, futures open in 20 minutes. Again, I don't think it'll be great. I probably should add more negative positions on. But whatever. I need to think about a new notebook, so the dollar might go up too. So you see a rise in the dollar, a rise in oil prices. Maybe equities are down, gold's up. That could be what the market open looks like. All right, Chad, I'm still here. I shouldn't go silent like that. um, so the game plan is to just roll the best I can, and is it a buy the dip? Like, is that the? I think again, it's just really uncertain. So it's like, you know, spreads work in that environment. I don't know, like, about going long anything. I think it's really about playing the volatility. So, you know, volatility is going to spike, and that might be enough. Just you're just playing the volatility. It's not even about the underlying. It's just like things are going to move around a lot. You know, where can you find the best volatility? Where do you think it's going to like come back to some, you know, thing like it's, you know, back to a median number, maybe back down to 20. It's probably going to go up to 30. You know, it's probably going to stay there a while as long as this is really uncertain. But eventually it kind of goes back down, and then there's the next big thing. So really, I think the only thing you could do is play volatility, and that's, you know, right now it's going to be high, so it's probably like selling put spreads or things like that. Even though I don't really want to be, you know, down there trying to catch what's falling, but or rolling down your call spreads, like you'll get some credit for those. So again, it might be an opportunity to pick up that credit. I think the only thing I can play right now is volatility and trying to collect that volatility. I think that's all I can do. And then I need to figure out how to make my own notebook and make it show, like I want it to be able to, you know, drill down on a week. I guess I can kind of see where some of the limitations come in, you know, TradesViz, that when I trade, but the thing is, I didn't even trade Triple Q this week. I traded TQQQ this week, and it's just something that like appeared or like expired, and it didn't register it correctly. So I need to figure out kind of maybe do some more research on the notebooks that are out there, see if something does it a little bit better. But ultimately I have to find, maybe make my own notebook. Like we might be in that phase. That might be my new July project, is to make a new notebook. I think that might be, unfortunately, where I'm at. Man, that makes me sad. Yeah. And honestly, I think the best place to track my trades is like in an option strat. Like that gives you the best look at those types. Or, you know what? Switching a platform. Oh, it's such a bitch to do that though. No, I'd have to do it at like the end of the year. All right, breakouts found 77, near breakouts 5, fit 22. I like to look at the things that have really high volume. What date come from to? So date today. Okay, so it's like looking at like Friday's data then. SLSN, MCHX, ASPS. Let me take these and put them in a spreadsheet and then just look at the oh no, it doesn't like okay. Oh, it doesn't do it right. Alright, I'll just have to look at it then from the thing. Man. Dealing with data is so hard. Probably could export it to a CSV file. Probably figure out how to do that. Yeah. Probably figure out how to do that. Let's look at the charts. We're gonna look at the charts at here for this. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe the multi-time frame. I haven't used this in a long time. What's an hour in a day? Oh, this is good. Yeah, let's look at this. So let's go to SLS. What is this company? What it is? I'll have to look it up down here. Look it up. SLSN. Solescence. Manufactures sells integrated family of technologies. What is that? So engages in specifically scientifically driven healthcare solutions across beauty and life science categories. UV. Okay. The company was formerly known as Nanophase Technologies Corporation and changed the name to Solescence in March 2025. Okay. What was the news? Why did it go up? Expands debt. Wants to grow. Okay. Worth looking at though. I mean, it has been kind of in an upswing here, so and it looks like it might have just started trading. Yeah, so it went from 16 down to 1. Holy moly. And then now we're kind of building it back up again. Okay. Let's look at the next one. So MCHX, EGICB, MCHX. Let's take a look. Marchex. Oh, what's his ether? um. Conversation evaluates what happens during these conversations and closes the sales loop. Okay, so it's like an AI company. This will be acquired by somebody. If their technology is any good, this one will be acquired. ASPS. Let me keep it on the list. I'll actually put that one on my list, which is kind of like just even for just a trading. MCHX. Okay, put that on the list. Let's take a look at the next one. The ASPS. Oh wow. Last thing never recovered. I don't know about this one. Whatever on this one. I don't like this. I don't know what it is. Let's look up what it is. Altisaurus Portfolio Solutions. I don't get this company. Anyway, MACI. Meller Acquisition. Oh, this is like a SPAC thing. Yeah, whatever on that. PXLW. Profile. I wonder if you just put this in ChatGPT and it would tell you. Why am I doing it the boomer way? All right. All right. I kind of went on a side quest there, chat. I'm losing it. Let's keep looking at the things here. So, SPS. We didn't put MACI in here. Oh yeah, I was gonna put it in here. No, see, Intellectia gave you charts. Gemini doesn't give you charts. It doesn't make charts for you. It's not there yet. It's not what I need. I want to have, yeah, let me do that right now. I think this is the lowest one. Yeah, this is like the standard one. Anyway, it doesn't, yeah. Well, like Intellectia, that created charts, like that created like usable financial information. Hmm. Anyway, not helpful. Doesn't make charts. Yeah, I'm kind of there. Oh shit, futures are open. Ding ding ding, futures are open. Let's go, let's go. We gotta go look. Where it is? Where is it at? I guess we'll just open it up. Alright, let's go. Let's go, baby. Yep, big drop down. Let's go. I mean, come on. Like, come on. Like, that's not even a lot. Like, come on. Look at where we're at. We gotta see how this pans out. We'll keep watching it, chat. Like, eh. Yeah, but they're just in the same range. Like, I think what Crude is maybe your biggest story. It's up $3. Here's the new little bar right here. This is all the past. Yeah, see, not very exciting at all. Yeah, I know. There isn't enough movement. No, there's not. All things considered, it's not a lot. No, it's not. The only thing that really jumped was, and even that, even the Crude, it sold off immediately. So Crude opened up at 78. It's already at 76. It was just an opportunity to sell some Crude, chat. Like, it's not, I'll keep watching it, but yeah, nothing exciting here. Just in a range, like, nothing exciting. Nothing exciting at all. Oh, we're gonna look at maybe one more. Let's look at, switch up the charts here. So we're gonna look at, EXLW. What's this? Like, move up, but it's also just a terrible chart. Like, I think maybe some of your more interesting things might be actually Apple and that kind of stuff, because that's been in a mood for a minute. And then I think you have to drill down to the things that were at maybe 2 to 6, like less than 10, so 2 to 9% in this breakout. The ones that have these super big breakouts, meh, like, not really too exciting. But I think I need to take a break. Futures are now open. I need to make my short. Not a crazy move on the futures. I mean, I'm not going to say it's... I mean, this number looks big, but if you look at where the little thing is, the tick or whatever, the bar, like, I mean, come on. Like, it's just in this range. So not super exciting, but we'll see how the night progresses. I'll keep an eye on it. If there's a trade to be had, I might jump in. And we're going to just manage trades. I think that's the idea, and then get rid of our bags that we're holding. See if we can roll for a credit, and see if we can work our way out of some of the bad things that, just like some of these upside down positions, and find a new notebook. So that's kind of where we're at. I think with that, I'll say what I always say. This is for education, informational purposes only, not intended to be advice or recommendation. Trading is risky. Please do your own research. Anyway, this is... If you like what you see, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, whatever button you see. Hearts, like, subscribes, and have a safe and profitable trading week.